you asked me the question, are those things in the U.S. mindset on freedom and so on, is it changing? I don't know if, I know that it's not from an immigrant's vantage point. The immigrants still see this place as a place to come to, in spite of its warts, in spite of its problems, in spite of the racism that still exists in some places, in spite of the high crime in some areas. It's not a perfect country, and there isn't a perfect country on the face of the earth. But there are certain freedoms here, particularly for those of us who have concerns for religious freedom.
So
that's
so
critically important.
Honing in on a couple of these things like religious freedom. Let me first ask about freedom of speech, and the reason I did is because I told you I've been listening to some comedians complain about freedom of speech in general, and particularly on college campuses, and not that anybody's getting locked up and imprisoned for anything they say, but the country seems to be getting less tolerant for people speaking freely. Am I right in that or not?
In some areas. It's always fascinating to me, Pat. What would have happened since we're Christians? I think we'd still be teaching creation in our schools, in our colleges, if the Christian, and I use Christian lightly, community of the 50s and 60s was as intolerant to dissent as we are today. Mm-hmm. Why is it that college campuses have changed so much? It's because Christians were tolerant, right? I mean,
the less Christianity, the less tolerance. Or are you trying to drive that kind of equation?
No. What I'm saying is that we've become more intolerant because our grandparents were more tolerant than we are,
right? Because
they allowed secularism to become the dominant flavor of the day. I mean, it's become a situation where I think our culture is becoming less tolerant, and this is important to the church. I mean, when we think about, obviously these things are important to us because of Christianity. Mm-hmm. The Christian church in the West has flourished. I hate to say because of pluralism, because obviously it's God doing it. But you can't deny the benefits of a pluralistic society. To the fact that we can go in the marketplace, communicate our ideas without fear of appraisal. That's a good thing. Now it has.
And those ideas win often.
Those ideas, because they're better ideas.
Right.
Christian ideas are just flat out better ideas. But with a pluralistic society, you got to accept the fact that not everybody's going to buy what you're saying,
right.
and some people are going to be antagonistic towards it. Now it becomes a problem when they become so antagonistic that they want to shut you up completely, and they don't want to hear you preach on.
So the marketplace of ideas are not free
what marriage is.
Anymore.
Yeah. When the culture says, if you speak out on what true marriage is, that's hate speech. That's going to become a problem.
Right.
And we already see the kind of we see the desires of some people to limit the speech of the church. And so I'm kind of interested in kind of how the church is going to respond to that.